Hey everyone, this is Faizam from Faizam Trader. I just wanted to make a quick recap of our trades for the week ending November 18th, 2016. I had previously made a video, it was about 45 minutes long, and I decided it was a bit too long and I had to shorten it up a little bit. So I decided to make the video over again and make it a lot shorter, and my goal is to get everything into the video. So I would like to get started. So this week was my best trading week ever. Ever since I started trading, the best percentage gains, the best average, the least amount of losses, the least amount of average losses. Everything was just perfect. Everything worked out the way it was supposed to. The reason I wanted to make this video is to remind myself, if I ever struggle ever in my life, that you know what, once you were that good, I'm probably never gonna have a week this good ever again unless I start trading in the millions, and then making 5% would be making the same amount of money as I've made this week. In percentage wise, I'm probably never going to see these numbers again, and I'm okay with that. I'm content. I know that the market was amazing, and maybe the next time the elections come around we get the same results. I'm not too sure, but it was really good. And again, like I said, I just wanted to make this video to remind myself, if I ever struggle in the future, that you know what, you're not that bad. You can do it. It's not that complicated. You've done it before, and it kind of like if you watch sports, if a player breaks a record, they keep the ball or the puck that they were using during that time. So like Wayne Gretzky broke the record for most goals in the NHL. He kept that puck. Barry Bonds broke the record for home runs. He kept the ball. Basically, you want to keep some sort of a memory for yourself to say, you know what, I remember that time. And this video is basically that for me, where I can go back and watch it whenever I want. And again, I would like nobody to take this as arrogance. This is just pure confidence. And I want to remind myself when I'm down that you can be confident again. It was done before and you can do it again. So we're going to go over these real quick. What I use is an Excel sheet to go over these videos, and the purpose behind this Excel sheet is two things. First, I'm completely not comfortable showing my balance to anybody, and the next thing is I don't have the video skills to know how to hide my balance and hide my account number and all of that fancy stuff. So I kind of, we got to go with what we have here, sort of. That's what we have. The next main thing is I won't be able to show Salman's swings and show which trades were swing trades, which ones were day trades, which ones did what and how, and that's pretty much another important aspect of it. So yeah, that's pretty much what we have here, and I'll get started right away. I'll start with DRYS. It's pretty obvious. I don't want to talk about the stock again. I'm sure you've heard it from 20 different videos already as to what the stock did, so you already know. We're going to get back into where we got into the stock and what our thought process was when we got in. So DRYS, we're going to open it up here, and I can go as far back as a 30-minute chart. And what we were looking for was this area right here. When the stock started to come downwards, we got in around, I think it was this candlestick here, or it was this one right here. And we basically said to our members, we're going to hold this thing long, and we're going to see if we can get 2 periods closing below the 13 EMA, and we will be looking to exit the stock. We did get into that period here where we had 2 exits, but it was right at the end of the day where the stock tanked right before it closed the day, and we weren't able to exit. but since we were already in, we had 500 shares. We said it's only 500 shares. It's not the end of the world. We'll see how it goes, and we held through. So the stock came down. Normally we use a 5% stop loss, but for this one you couldn't use a stop loss. The reality was that it was just all over the place, and you weren't going to be able to make any profits if you had a stop loss. And the same thing applied here. So 1733, we get into the stock, and remember these alerts right here. I posted a screenshot of my trade on StockTwits, on Twitter, on Facebook, 2-hour members, and it was because sometimes it's hard to believe that somebody could actually hold from one level to another. So I actually traded dries in 2 different accounts. I traded dries in one account. Went from roughly $26 to $76, and this other account I traded multiple times, and we're going to go over those trades right now. 1733, we held on through. A lot of the members held on through, and the ones that held on through still sold too early. They sold around the $23 to $24 mark. They were kind of disappointed, but it's all good. It doesn't make a difference because a profit is a profit. And as you can see here, I can't show you the 2-minute chart because I was using the 10-minute actually on this one. So what I normally do with stocks like these, the ones that are moving, is I like to get in when the one red bar closes above this red line, way down here, and then I like to exit when one red bar closes below the red line. So exit right here. So if you were to use that terminology when it comes to this stock, we should have never gotten in the first place, but we were in, and I was probably in because that one red bar closed above that red line, and it got me in. And as you can see, the stock didn't work too well when that happened, and it was basically a trap. You'll see here it was just that one bar. It closed up there for a second. I got in, and you can see what happened there on forward. But I didn't panic. Main reason I didn't panic is because I was also looking at the 30-minute. And I said, as long as this stays above the red line, I'm going to hold the stock. Right? So we get back into the 10-minute here. And as you can see, the stock just absolutely takes off the next day. Right? Stock keeps on going and going and going. I'll get back onto the 30-minute here. And if we look at the 30-minute, an entry around here, 1733, the first exit that we get for this stock right here is basically the halt. If you use a 30-minute, we didn't use a 30-minute, we use a 10-minute. You hold the stock all the way through. You hold it as long as you want, as long as possible, and it just ends up working out. Sometimes you have to change this around. Sometimes you gotta go with the 15-minute. Sometimes you gotta go with the 5-minute. You got to see which one works. Now for this particular stock, I changed it around every single time. Sometimes I'm choosing the 5-minute, sometimes the 10, sometimes the 15, and basically the 15 works out the best here. It tells you to get out right over at the $80 level. I actually took a picture of this and I sent it to everybody on StockTwits. I shared it with anybody that I could possibly share with, and I said, you know what? It's time to get out of the stock, and you can probably find that picture on StockTwits where I'm telling everybody to get out around the $85 level. And that's probably something that could have saved a lot of people if they had actually listened. But things go the way they go, and there's not much you can do about it. So again, dries 1733, 4132. Why 4132? I go to maybe the 10-minute. 4132. I'm not too sure why I would exit at 4132. Maybe it started to fall. It fell pretty bad. It went from $41 to $38 within a few minutes. So I probably said, hey, you know what? I'm not taking any chances. It might be coming down, and I just got out. But you know what? Not that bad, because in one account I already had it from 26 to 76, and I sold it on the way down. Luckily, I sold it about 10 minutes before the market closed. I totally forgot that I even had it in that account, but it's all good. I did sell it, and I sold it on the way down. And the next entry we had was 60.75. which was 60.75. So I love buying at the end of the day. I love buying at the close and just writing it back up. It's really fun. It makes the process a lot easier, and you know, it just makes a lot more sense. And this particular trade was kind of in the middle of the day, from 60.75 to 76.34, 60.75. And remember, these are alerts that are sent to the members, and you know, a lot of members do get in, and you know, you can make a quick profit. What is this? About 20 minutes of trading, and you made a profit of almost $16. This won't happen again for a very long time, but when it does happen, the people that take advantage of it are the ones that know how to trade. Now we're going to get into the $76 level, 76 around here somewhere. We probably had to hold it for a little while. I have a feeling I might have gotten in around this level here, and then as you can see, no, that's incorrect. I got in at the breakout here, because what happens is every time it breaks out, it shows up on our scanner, and we can trade it, and it goes up to 94.23, and we basically got out 94.23. So this one, I didn't use the indicator as much as I would have wanted to, but it is what it is, right? Next one is something that I use the indicator for sure, which was ship, right? So we got ship here, and we're gonna come down here. This day right here, the stock goes from the stock moved up higher. It went from 269 and it went up a little bit higher around the 280 level, and it came back down. I was watching it this day, and I said, you know what, maybe there's a possible, you know, run up, maybe I can get into it. Nothing happened. Stayed out of the stock. On this day, the stock goes from 211 to about 245. I get excited. I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the time that it actually makes a move. I get in at the 225 level. It goes up to around 241. I sold for 241, and then I sold 75% of what I was holding at 241, and then the remaining I sold at my buy price. The next day, you'll see the stock goes from a low of roughly $2 to around 269. On this day, I get in at 230, and I exit at 265. I'm excited. I'm like, okay, this is good. I'm still holding a few shares. I'm thinking this is going to be okay. The stock comes right back down, kicks me out, because I moved my stop loss to my buy price, kicks me out. I'm like, okay, this thing is just manipulated. It's not going to go anywhere. The next day, the stock starts to move. So I'm like, you know what? If it does end up making a move because of dries, I don't want to miss it, right? So dries had already moved, as you can see. It's already sitting at roughly $41, and then ship is sitting at, you know, $2 and change. And I'm like, I don't want to miss this. It's probably going to move. We'll see what happens. I get into the stock. I think I can do the 5 minute here. I get into the stock at 240. So it goes up, it comes back down, it comes down to 2 something. I get in around the 240 level. I'm not too sure if it was down here or if it was over here, but it was basically right near the end of the day. So this is 2 p.m. and this is 4 p.m. So right near the end of the day, we get into the stock and we're like, okay, let's see what happens. So most of the members were holding it, right? Most of the members were holding it. We all woke up and the stock is up 50%. The stock is up 50%. We're like, wow, this is insane. Let's see how it goes. We did the same thing here again. You know, we said, you know, we're going to wait for this thing to cross below, and when it crosses below, we're going to make an exit, right? So the stock goes back up to around the 529 level. Well, the stock is sitting at around $5 and change. Oh, sorry, I got to get the 2 minute in here. I can't go that far back on the 2 minute, but on the 2 minute, the exit was 5:30. So we got out at 5:30 because of the 2 minute chart. We can't see it here because this is the 5 minute chart and it's not that clear. But basically, the exit was at 5:30 At 5:30, this red pink bar closed below that red line, and that's basically where we want to exit, because that's just when you're supposed to exit. Right, so we got out at 5:30 there. That was a really nice trade. Now the next one, the real one that makes a lot of difference, is SINO. So we were happy with a 50% gain when we woke up in the morning. SINO was a more interesting trade of them all. So this thing was actually playing a few games, and let's go over this real quick. So SINO, I get in at 6:30, right over here. I get in at 6:30. I'm thinking this thing is gonna break out. It goes back up to around 6:58. It comes right back down and hits our stop loss. Actually, that might not be the correct one. Actually, that is the correct one. So hits our stop loss, comes right back down. We get in again. So we lost 5% there, and then we get in again at 6:06. Then we get in again at 6:09. Right, 6:09, which is right over here. Which, when it crosses above that trend line that we drew, it goes up to about 6:38. But because we were looking for 4%, we had a sell order at 6:35. It hit 6:35 and it comes right back down. Some members lost, some people made money. At the end of the day, it was what it was. We got in again at 6:06. This time, looking at and watching the fact that it's holding this trend line that we drew, it won't close below it 2 candlesticks in a row. It's holding above this green trend line that we drew. We get in at 6:06, and I'm like, you know, guys, this thing's gonna do really well. Let's see how it goes. I'm looking for this level over here. I'm looking to touch the previous high, which is 786. Next thing you know, this thing opens up. What is this? It opens up at 1336. 1336. We didn't really get to sell a lot higher. It goes as high as 1416. We didn't get to sell there. We sold at 1342 again. It was a 2 minute that kind of told us when to get out. Minute told us when to get out. Oh, maybe it was a 1 minute. 1 second here. Okay, I can't go that far. I should be able to go that far back. Let's take a look. No, cannot get in that far. But it was one of these two charts. It was either the 1 minute or the 2 minute that basically said, hey guys, you know what? This thing is already moved, and you should look for an exit. Let's take a look again. First time. Okay, so I think I know what happened here. It's definitely the 1 minute. The 1 minute would tell me that because this is a 2 minute, it is crossing down a lot later. On the 1 minute, it would cross down a lot sooner because it was moving so fast. Oh no! I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I'll tell you what happened here. We didn't look at the indicator when we sold this one. This one we just sold because we were also holding rlog. And we didn't know what to do with the two. So this thing moved up huge the next day as well. Confused about that one and not knowing when to sell that. And then we also had, which one was this? GSL. That moved up the same day, not knowing what to do with that one either. So we said, you know what? I said, guys, sell anything, anywhere you can sell it, because we didn't have, we didn't have the time. While all of this stuff was going on, you'll start to see that, what is this? SCON. You see this thing starts to move. So 17. Where was this? SINO. So this was on the 17th, as you can see there, the top left corner, and then you got SCON. So I'm like, guys, you know what? Let's get out of these ones and let's get into something else. I get into SCON at 216. I get in around here at 216, The stock goes as high as 250 and it comes right back down. I'm like, alright, you know what, I made my profit, I'm happy, I'm out. The next thing I know, this stock just takes off. It goes up to 450. I'm like, you know what, how was I supposed to know? I was so busy with other stocks, I didn't have a chance. You know, it sucks, we missed it. Whatever, it's not a big deal. While that was going on, SCON, I'm looking at BNSO. I'm like, you know what, BNSO is going to do the same thing as SCON. Get into BNSO at 197. Right over here. It gives me another few minutes for people to get in, everybody to settle in. The stock just takes off. We don't sell this one until this candlestick right here. We got out around 358. So 358 was the last 25% we sold. I actually sold at exactly the $4 mark, and I'll explain to why I sold at the $4 mark. If you look at it right here, this candlestick hits 4. This one hits 4. This one hits 4. This one hits 4. I'm like, you know what? This stock is having a hard time crossing above 4. One of these two candlesticks is the one where I sold at $4. I just had a sell order. I didn't sell with my finger because it was so fast. I had a sell order. I said, you know what? If I can get 4 again, it came back down to, what is this? Around the 390 level. And I'm like, if it can hit 4 one more time, I'll be extremely happy. So from out of the 5,000 shares, no, 2,000 shares, I sold 1,500 at $4, and the rest I sold when this thing crossed below this level, which was around the 340, 350 level, right? So that happened with that. Right after that one goes down, or that one starts to move, we get into DHRM. DHRM. Okay, so it doesn't want to show up here. I'm pretty sure it was DHRM. And that one won't show up. But anyways, we'll go into NFEC. So I'm watching all of these stocks, and I was just in the zone. Everything was just working out. Everything is moving perfectly fine. And you can look at NFEC, get in at 105 and out at 128. Right? Get in. Because it showed up on the TC2000 scanner, it got in at 105, and then you can see the exit is going to be at 128. And obviously it's on the way down. 128. So it'd probably be this red candlestick down here. And then because things are moving so fast, I said, you know what? I'm going to move over to the 1 minute chart. Oh man, I don't think I can get the 1 minute in here now. So basically I did the same thing. I was like, you know what? I'm going to look at the 1 minute chart. Everything's moving really fast, and we basically got out because of that level. But either way, you can still get out at around 119 if you use this indicator alone. NFEC started to move, CNTF started to move, ACPW, ENRJ still holding that one, and that's pretty much it. We'll go over the last one real quick, which one was SGNL. SGNL, I started to watch this around this level here. So from no activity at all to all of a sudden having activity, I said, you know what, there's something brewing here. And I said, as long as this thing can hold above the 200-day moving average, you know, this thing is pretty good. So we get in around the 697 level, 694 I think it was. Get in 697. So get in around 697. The spread at this moment is around 90 cents. I told everybody, I said, look, there's no stop losses here right now. Put in a small amount, buy about maybe 500 shares, maybe 1,000 shares, and see what happens with it. Don't buy too much, and you know, we'll see if this thing ends up moving tomorrow. Because if it does move tomorrow, I'm looking for a minimum of $13 to maybe a potential of $17. The reason I'm looking at those numbers, I was looking at the daily chart. Daily or weekly? So I was looking at the weekly. I was looking at the weekly chart, and I said on the weekly chart, the 100-day moving average is sitting at about $17. So I'm like, there's a chance that it might hit $17. But in fact, it doesn't end up doing too well. Well, it does end up doing really well, but it doesn't hit $17, and but we still made a really nice profit on it. Again, I did the same thing, sold 75% at 14.42, and sold the rest just below that, I believe. Just below that level. Can't see it here. So this indicator, right? While I'm looking this up, this indicator is amazing. It just does a lot, and it can really help with the trades. Now this one right here, I was looking to sell at $15. Obviously, I wanted to sell at the high of day, but what it did was I said, you know what? It went up to 15. I don't know if it can do the same thing again. What it did was it went up to 15. It came back down to around 14.25. Went up to 14.85, came back down to around 14.50, and then went up, and I said, you know what, I'm going to sell it if it moves down after that level, and it comes right back down, and that was my exit. And all of this stuff is, it was because you get into the zone and you just see everything happening right in front of you, and it's really fun, it's really amazing when it's working with you. Sometimes it goes against you and you end up having a lot of problems. So again, there is some luck in here, but a lot of it is skill as well. Just knowing what to do, how to do it, is something you can keep practicing, and eventually you get over it. Like look at rlog, got in at from 88 to 96, and then got in again from 112 to 276. Now the 276 is obviously not the high of day by any means. It went up a lot higher. How do I do this here? Half hour. Right at the line. I think it went up 295. So it went as high as 295. You can't sell at the high of day all the time, but the goal is to get as close as possible. So 276 was good enough for me, and that's pretty much it. So I've gone over these trades. I wanted to make the video a lot shorter. I'm just going to go over a couple more things here because you're already here, and I wanted to explain how a lot of these things work. A lot of the members, they ask if we, these members have been with us for 3 or 4 months, and they're like, okay, so do you guys mentor as well? Now the reality is it's on our website, and if people don't know, then you actually have to bring it to their attention. So this is our day trade and swing trade alert service. Basically, we believe that you need to be able to make money off of day trades and swing trades, because some days don't move and some days swings don't move, right? And you're making money off of the other one on that particular day. You want to be profitable on a regular basis. If you're making money every single day, what it does is it gives you more patience, and because you have more patience, you're able to make a better judgment when you're trading. But if you're not making money on, for a day or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, you end up becoming restless, and you end up selling the stock, and the stock ends up moving the next day, and then you end up getting into a stock that's on its way down, and then you end up losing money on that day. So make a regular profit every single day, rather than try to hit a home run once a week and then you miss and you strike out. As you'll notice, our monthly fee is $3.99 for both. There are some memberships where they charge $500 for swings, $500 for trades, or for day trades. We're kind of mixing both of them up and giving them away for just $3.99 monthly. The $3.99, the reason for that is we're looking for a select number of people, and we want to focus on those people. So we don't want to have 1,500 or 2,000 people, 2,500 people in the chat room. We probably want to have no more than 100 to 150 people at the most, and just keep it there, because we know everybody on a name-to-name basis. We know who they are. We have an idea of roughly how much they're trading with, what their struggle is, how much they started with, where they are now, and what their monthly goals are. And we're trying our best to help people achieve those goals, rather than just alerting stocks to you, and then you continue to lose money. It kind of defeats the purpose of an alerting service. You're supposed to make money. So that's that. This is our mentoring program. This kind of lays everything out for you right here. It's a one-on-one mentoring service. It's 3 months long. Our goal is to make you completely independent, and it's for those people who would like to relearn the stock market. So basically, you have to give up some of the knowledge that you already have and start off from the beginning with us and the way we teach it. So you get 3 months of alerts with this service, which is $1,197. You also have a goal of roughly $10,000 a month you have to achieve, and then you also get our self-learn videos. A lot of the mentoring students that bought this package actually just watched those self-learn videos and said, you know what, I don't need the one-on-one mentoring. I'm good just because of the videos. So that might actually do it for you. That's $1,497. And then you got our scanner settings, which are $1,997. These 3 packages right here alone equal more than the $39.99. So basically, the one-on-one mentoring that you're getting is basically for free. You're not really paying for that, right? And I think that's where the real value is. This is priceless. The one-on-one mentoring is priceless. Like, imagine you're with me for, over the span of 3 months, you're with me for about 15 hours one-on-one while I'm talking to you and you're talking to me. You're asking me questions, I'm answering your questions, and then I'm teaching you new things while you're learning, and I make sure that you actually learn it. And if you don't understand it, then I continue emphasizing on it until you understand it. And some people it takes the first shot, some people it's the 3rd time, some people it's the 10th time. I'm willing to go that 10th time, I'm willing to go the 15th, because I understand what it takes, and the goal is to get to your destination, not to just try to get there. Your goal is to get there and achieve that goal. So that's that. Now we have a phone number. You call us at this phone number. You can speak to me personally. I'll explain how all the mentoring packages work and give you an idea as to what you're looking for. That's the complete package. This is for somebody that is that's been trading for 3 years and still doesn't understand how it works. Without having to spend the whole $4,000, what you do is you get the self-learn videos and you get 2 weeks. So this is 2 weeks, half an hour per day, right after the market closes. You and I, for a half hour, we go over everything that's wrong, and we make you understand what the situation is. So you've been trading for at least 3 years now. You're off by a little bit. You just need a little bit of tweaking, and you're going to be perfectly fine. So you got 10 classes, 5 days a week, for 30 minutes right after the market closes. You're in the zone, I'm in the zone, and I teach you the way everything goes. So let's just say there was a stock and you're like, how did you find this stock? I teach you how I found that stock, and that way you're already in the zone and you understand, instead of doing this on a Saturday morning where you probably slept late the night before and now you're tired and you really don't want to be in class. So that's that. And then you also get access to the alerts. You also get access to the chat room for 1 month. So out of the $997, $14.97 is just the videos. $3.99 is the package. That's roughly $1,800, about $1,900 right there. And then the one-on-one mentoring is just basically free if you look at it that way, because you're paying $1,000 for all 3 of these things, and I think that's huge. 24-hour support. If you get stuck on a stock and you need some help, you let me know, and we go over that trade. So I've made this video pretty long. I wanted to keep it a lot shorter than 45 minutes. I'm not too sure how far I've gotten so far, but I'm pretty sure it's around that level. But overall, it's a better video, and that's what matters most. Right before I go, I wanted to do one more thing. Remember this: 83% accuracy. This is the average, rough average of accuracy that we have. It's between 75 and 82% that we've had for the past at least year and a half to 2 years. We're at least 75% minimum, and it's not that hard. You just got to know when to get in, when to get out, and be happy with whatever happens. Have a look at this average gain per trade. This is never going to happen again. It's happened here, that's why I'm talking about it, but I usually talk about it in my other videos as well. Average gain is $1,428 per trade. Think about it. Average loss is $271 or $272, and then you got commissions as well, right? So that's basically that, and you subtract 62,854, from $2,719, and that's the profit for the week ending in November the 18th. Again, I'm probably never going to have this week again. And remember one more thing. These are all trades with $5,000. Okay, $5,000, these trades. If I was to come in with $50,000, like a lot of people trade with $50,000 and they make 1%, and then they say, hey guys, look at me, I made $500 on this trade, or $5,000 on this trade, or whatever percentage they make on it, depending on how much money they put in. They make 1.5% to 2%, and they're like, wow, look at me, look at how much money I made. Everybody emphasizes on the money. Now, if I had $50,000 in each trade, rather than just $5,000, 854 minus 2719, I'm looking at a profit of $60,135, and then probably another $1,000 in commissions, right? And then you're looking at 59,135 times 10, because instead of 5,000, they're trading with 50,000. You would be looking at a weekly profit of 591,000. Now the problem is, I probably can't hold on to these stocks as long as I'm holding on to them now, because I have a small size. Most traders, they have small sizes. Not everybody has $40,000-$50,000 to put into each trade. Most people have 15, 20, 30,000. They leave 5,000 in one, 5,000 in another, 5,000 in another, and that's pretty much all they can really do. They can't leave their whole portfolio of $25,000, $30,000 into one stock. So when you're looking at those numbers, you have to look at how much the person is trading with as well, because you got to be realistic. These are all trades, $5,000 each trade. Like, let's have a look at something that's close to 50%. Oh, this is 100%. I made $5,152, right? Because it was 100%, and that's the reality. So I hope this video helps. We really want you on board because we understand your struggle. A lot of these traders that are trading at $50,000, $60,000 per trade, per day trade, or per swing trade, they don't understand what it's like to have a portfolio of like $25,000, $30,000 where you can't put all your money into one basket, or you put all your eggs into one basket, or put all your money into one stock, whichever way you want to look at it. So we understand the struggle, we can help you, and we really want you on board. This is the official invitation. There's a lot of people, they're shy, they're not sure where they want to go, and when somebody's inviting you, that must mean that they're confident and they know what they're doing, and they're holding themselves accountable if things don't work out. I mean, if you go through the whole course and you don't understand what's happening, I mean, that's a failure on my end. But I'm going to make sure that you understand exactly when to get in, exactly when to get out of each stock. These indicators, they help a lot. They help you stay in. But the reality is, you have to know, like, look at sgnl. Like, you have to know what's going on here. You look at the stock, you have to know what's going on. You have to see things, and that's what you're going to learn. It makes a big difference. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. Wish you the best of luck, and if you have any questions, email us. Go to our website, go to our contact page, and send us an email. Alright guys, take care.